From the BBR studios, it's Line Locked, episode number 12, where we're coming at you recorded but live.
Live but recorded.
Damn it. Live but recorded.
Yeah. Who are you?
Oh, man. How are you doing?
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Chris. Who are you?
I'm Corey.
Are you here?
I'm definitely here.
Again, that thing needs to die.
It does not need
You're
to
done.
die.
You're done.
I'm not done. Hey, you've been complaining for almost every episode that I've got something in front of my laptop and you got nothing.
Yeah, you got that big old Wally sitting there.
So
I
got you something for Christmas.
Oh, my gosh.
So tell me what it is.
It is a trophy with the back half of a horse, and it says the Horse Shit Participation Trophy. I'm going to put this right here in front of my computer here so you guys can see
there you go.
My participation, my horse shit participation.
Now you got a trophy, though.
I do. Man, that's going to be great. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Was your Christmas good? Or
not too bad. Could have been better. We'll get into that later on, but it wasn't bad.
All right. Well,
got a few cool gifts.
Yeah, I got a jacket that warms you up.
Like a heated jacket.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. My girlfriend got that for me, and because it's cold out here in the shop and smelly now too.
Yeah, we'll also get into that in a minute. I got one and I love it. It's I got the vest one though. Did you get a vest?
No, mine's a full jacket.
Yeah, cool.
Full metal jacket.
Full metal jacket. All right, well, you got your participation trophy. That's great.
Yes, thank you so much,
That's
man.
probably-
Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas out there.
Yeah, sure.
Got everything you wanted and got to spend time with your families and everything, so it's pretty exciting. I know that all of us did, and we got to spend a little bit of family time together, so it was pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the news real quick because we have a special guest coming in here in just a couple minutes, and I think you guys want to stick around for it. Let's get the music going, or the intro music for the news.
Line Lock News with your host, Pedro.
Senior Ricardo.
Senior Ricardo.
All right, we have some sad news to announce. It's been all over the news. You may have seen it already, but our man, Don the Sarge Schumacher, passed away at 79 years old, man.
Man, he lived a long life.
Yeah, he ended up passing with some complications. He had some lung cancer that he never really announced as private, but he ended up passing from some complications due to that. I wanted to give you a quick little history of him, and I took this pretty much from, not verbatim, but from his press release about it. Don was a fierce funny car match racer in the 60s and 70s who fielded multiple entries of top-notch drivers and for the demanding bookings for his Stardust funny car. Schumacher took departure from motorsports early in the 70s to grow a family business, Schumacher Electric. Yeah. He returned in 98 with his son, Tony, and they created DSR, which everybody knows about now. DSR actually had their first championship title in 99, so just 1 year later, which is pretty awesome. They had more than 25 drivers, and they raced for the legendary team owner. He created champions, introduced new personalities to the sport, and was responsible for the resurgence of several careers. Schumacher is the only team owner to have wins from each NHRA of the four professional categories, which that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even think about that, huh? The other cool thing he had going for him is his team amassed 19 NHRA World Championship titles, 365 Wally trophies, including 5 that he won behind the wheel of a funny car.
Say that again. How many?
19 NHRA World Championship titles with 367 Wallies.
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive, right?
Yeah, it's kind of makes your one, seem a little.
What are you trying to say?
Like an illegitimate child. Over here.
How do you eat an elephant?
Ears first?
Yeah, one trophy at a time, buddy. One trophy. There'll be 360. You won't be able to see me. All right. At any rate, he did a couple things. I mean, obviously, he was a huge guy in the sport and did a lot of cool things. But one of the things he did was he made the cutting-edge safety innovations for the funny car category, including a roof-mounted escape hatch, which I guess before they didn't have that, which is a lot of safety. That's pretty cool. He also created the idea or invented it in some way of the brake and fire suppression on the same lever.
Oh, yes.
So that you can hold the brake and fire suppression and a wheel at the same time. Yes. So that was a big improvement as well. He also, towards the end of his career, he developed a protective enclosed canopy for top fuel dragsters, which some of them use right now, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Don will be missed by many. Rest in peace, Sarge.
Yeah, man. It's a shame. We've lost a lot of great guys that were at the forefront and of the starting of NHRA and drag racing and everything. He was definitely one of the legends.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, he's gonna be missed.
Certainly. In other news, not motorsports related, but news nonetheless, I have not told anybody, I don't think on the YouTubes anyway, my dog Hemi passed away in, I think it was April. No, it was May. It was May. It was right when we got back from Indy. He passed away from some cancer, and it came on real sudden.
It came on very fast.
Yeah, within 3 or 4 days, he was pretty much over with. It was very, very sad, and it was tough to go through. We already have 2 other dogs other than him, Red and Lily, and I told Debbie I just didn't want a dog. I don't want another dog for me or nothing like that. Well, come Christmas time, told her I didn't want a dog. She said she wanted a dog, so we compromised, and we got another dog. So we got another dog, and what I'm going to do for you guys is I want you guys to help me name him.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
right?
that would be really cool.
So I'm gonna put down there, anybody that wants to put down there a dog's name. So one of the trade-offs of not wanting animals and getting animals brought home anyway is I get to name them. So Hemi was obviously Hemi, and then we have Bonnie and Clyde, and we have Holly. We have a lot of car parts. So if you want to throw out names with car part names, that would be cool, because that would be something I'm interested in, and maybe if we pick you, it would be cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll send you a shirt or something if you pick the right one.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
But our initial thought was Hoosier for Hoosier Tires.
Yeah.
Which I think it's a cool name, but it's all white. And I tell you, when anybody ever asks me what kind of dog it is, I'm going to tell them if he went to school, he majored in Pyrenees and minored in goat, because he looks like a cross between the two.
Yes, definitely. I'm just waiting for him to jump and fall over and play dead.
Well, he does a lot of sleeping.
Maybe.
But she got that. It was like a 4-hour round trip, and she brought it to work yesterday. I had to work on Christmas. And she just brought it in. It's like, hey, here's your new dog. So I think he's 4 months old. There's a picture behind us, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's he's a beautiful dog, man. He's handsome.
He's very handsome, and he's very sweet.
Yeah.
He needs to control his bowels.
I was going to say, nuclear shits, man.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was bad.
Yeah, he was out here in the shop with us before we started the podcast, and he decided to have a potty break, and I couldn't get to him fast enough. So he ended up doing it on some kind of equipment stand thing. I was like, I'm just going to throw this whole thing away.
Isn't it nice to be able to just squat whenever you want, wherever you want, and just let go?
Well, we kind of get the ability to pee wherever we want. So, being a male is not terrible, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. The last set of news is Red Bull Formula One. They did completing the first ever pit stop in total darkness.
Oh, what, did the lights go out or something?
No, they just wanted to see if they could do it. And so what they did was they started with blindfolding the driver, or blindfolding the pit crew.
I hope they're not the driver.
Blindfolding the pit crew, and then they blacked their mask out, and they had them do it. And they started with 8 seconds on a pit stop, which is not great for Indy.
Yeah, right.
But nonetheless, they ended with I guess it's a record, a micro record.
Yeah. I don't think anybody else is going to do that.
They clocked in at 2.84 seconds.
Wow, so that's
in complete darkness.
That's fuel and
no
tires?
Fuel. Indy doesn't do fuel. They just do tires.
Oh, okay. That's fast though.
Yeah.
That's very fast.
Yeah. So that was one thing I was wondering what was involved there. Turns out IndyCar does not do fuel at pit stops. Only NASCAR.
Where do they do fuel at?
They get what fuel they got when they start.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They only got 1.6 liter motors.
I feel like I should know this already.
Yeah, Motorsports Podcast, Chris.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
Do a little research.
I know. God, I suck, man.
All right, well, that's it for the news. So make sure that you put in the comments what you think we should name our dog behind me right now.
Yeah. Give us some good ones, man.
Please, just something cool. Also, if you like this video, please put a like below us. We need that like in order to go up the algorithm. And if you really like us, share our content with a friend or on Facebook. That would both be beneficial to us.
Yep. Write us at linelockedpodcast@gmail.com, or you can see us on linelocked.com. You can see the videos here or listen to them, and you can go to any of the major podcast avenues like Apple Music, Amazon, Spotify. All those guys have us on there. Just type in Line Locked and find us.
We'll be there. I've been looking them up just to make sure they're there, and they're there.
Are they? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, hey, man. We got a special guest for you today. This is the straight axle riding, mohawk wearing, parking lot area saving Shane, the gas hole Lile. How you doing, Shane?
I'm doing great. Hey, you guys.
Not too bad. Hope that intro didn't catch you too far off guard.
Parking lot saving.
Hey, we're gonna bring it up later. Don't worry.
I figured that would happen.
No bad blood.
I anticipated as much.
Yeah, no bad blood. We just having fun, brother. First of all, let's talk about you, just who you are a little bit. You know, tell us how you got in drag racing and all that kind of jazz.
I didn't really get into drag racing. I was sort of born that way.
You're like Bane.
Yeah,
You're molded by it.
Yeah, I mean, he was racing when I was born. He had a 23 T bucket, and he would race it on Saturday, and my mom would drive it to car shows on Sunday. And it sort of evolved, and he started racing super gas. And when I got my learner's permit, he let me drive the car. And, of course, the racetrack threw a fit that I didn't have a license. And when I got my license, I started racing more full-time. And he sort of stepped out of the seat, I guess, which I guess is what dads do.
Yeah, for sure.
And we had a 27 T Roadster that we raced. He raced super gas, and I would race bracket races. And then we started running IHRA stuff, which was quick rod at the time, which was the same as like super gas.
Mm-hmm.
And I raced it for a couple seasons, and I got tired of getting nipped out at the end by dragsters. So we sold it.
Yeah.
And bought a new Spitzer car and raced it for a while. Of course, I like going fast. So we stepped up to top dragster slowly and raced that until about 2003. And then we just took a break for about 20 years. No, about 17 years.
17. Yeah, it's close to 20 though. We'll round up for you.
That's all right. Not too good at the math.
Yeah. So you came back, I assume, because we want to definitely talk a lot about Straight Axle Mafia, or what we might refer to as Sam from now on, just because it's easier to say. But again, Straight Axle Mafia. So when you came back in 2017, is that what you said?
Yeah, and again, it's my dad's fault because I was doing good. Alcoholics shouldn't go to bars, and people who quit racing should not go to the racetrack.
Okay.
So Dad was building this street car that he might race sometimes. We went to the racetrack, and as soon as we left, I looked at my wife and I was like, "So you know what's going to happen, right?" And she said, "Well, as long as I can race too." And kind of rolled my eyes like, "Oh, okay." She was serious. Yeah. So that winter, that's when we got a car, and then we've been hitting it pretty hard ever since.
Nice. And did you come out with the gas hole, or did you?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
We're gonna we're gonna talk about that a little later. I just wanted to touch on that.
All right.
So I'll tell you my first encounter. Well, maybe you want to tell yours first. I tell you what, I'll just tell mine because I'm selfish. But so I've been going to the Bowling Green Hot Rod Reunion for years. I mean, this is probably back, I would say 2000. I don't know. It had to have been. See, I got married in 13.
Yeah.
So it would have been somewhere in that area, 14 maybe. And there was a couple of. I don't know if straight axle was a thing back then, but there was a group of guys that were together that ended up being straight axle at some point. And I ended up running into them because at the first we didn't have drag cars. We just went down there, went to the campground, and they would just do a bunch of burnouts at night before they put an end to that shit. Yeah, put an end to that shit. Guys.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting a bunch of them, and they all seemed really cool and a good time to hang out. They're just a really good time. And then years went by. One of the cool stories though was before it actually got kind of they stopped it because it got out of control and a little dangerous. There was this little area that they called Burnout Alley that they would drive through, do burnout, and go on. but somebody thought it would be a great idea to have a live band on a trailer right next to Burnout Alley. And they were playing and having a good time. And every time a car would come up, they would stop in the middle of the song. The burnout would happen, and they would just pick right back up. I thought that was cool. There was another time back in the campground where Jungle Pam came back there with a nitro car.
Yeah.
And did
that was our guys too.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. You guys it was a really good time. And I tell you, to be quite honest with you, you guys are probably the first drag racers I don't want to say I was friends with anybody, but you guys, we hung out, during, that one weekend or week, because we usually went down there like on Wednesday or something. So we were there for 4 or 5 days before we actually got into it. But Sam, the whole group is just a good time. They're a lot of fun. And it's a good, most of the time, good family fun. Sometimes, maybe a little dangerous, but no big deal.
Look, we operate sometimes in a gray area.
Yeah.
But if it's not fun, why bother?
For sure. And we've had this discussion recently about the culture of drag racing. We were never going to church on Sunday type of people. I mean, there's plenty of drag racers that are, but the tradition of like the backup girl and stuff like that. I mean, that
right.
It was always a show. They were always doing a show, and it was always kind of dangerous. It's so. But I also agree, at least with the burnouts in the campground, it got out of hand and pretty dangerous at times. So I'm glad to see that at least reined in a little bit. But I tell you, when they got the security guards involved, the security guards came over and shut everything down. And this one year they came up and said, the security guard said, "Hey, if you guys just quit this shit, I will do a burnout on Saturday night at midnight
when his shift ends." Yes.
When his shift's in, and he held his word. He came over at midnight and did a burnout in one of those little security cop cars.
Oh yeah,
it was a good time. Yeah. So how did you?
Hey, they want to have fun too.
Oh, absolutely. And we gave them we made their life pretty hell. I mean, when I say we. There was a lot of us that were just, skirting around. The big thing, they would go drive around the campground and just rev their motor like they're about to do a burnout and then just drive away real easy. And they would just end up chasing you around the campground and stuff. It was a good time. But we made their life hell for a little bit. I'm glad that kind of got reeled in. But tell us your introduction to Sam or Straight Axle Mafia. How'd you get involved?
Well, they're sort of local to the area, and we do hot rod interiors, so we had a lot of show cars, and we would always be at the same type places. And just like you all, it's like, man, them guys look like a lot of fun. They look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So when we got these cars ready, we just looked up the schedule. We reached out to Joe Bridges. He started the deal. And it's like, hey, what do we need to do? And he's like, bring a cooler and show up. We can handle that.
Yeah.
That's
check,
what we did.
Check and check.
Yeah, exactly. And we did. And we've been having a blast ever since.
Yeah. No, they're such a fun time. Can you tell us a little bit about the rules to be a part of the Straight Axle Mafia?
They're pretty simple. I mean, obviously you got to have a straight axle. We don't allow like 2 steps on the starting line, delay boxes, down track throttle stops, any newer type electronics, no grids or data recorders, things like that. We got to shift them manually. I mean, most of them's 2 or 3 speeds. It's pretty simple, but we just try and keep it as raw as we can.
Dude, so you have no electric shifter, no air shifter,
correct.
No 2-step, you said, right?
No 2-step. We can run a trans brake.
You can run a throttle stop from the start?
No.
Okay. You said down track. I didn't know.
Well, I mean, we run on an index, so you got to adjust your car.
Yeah.
So people adjust it different ways, but there's nothing variable. However the car's set, the car's set.
Okay. So when you launch, the car is what it is what you're saying.
It is what it is.
Okay.
Yep. There's no change in
when you
anything.
say straight axle, there's a lot of stuff like even like dragsters and stuff have straight axles. So are you allowing that stuff in too, or?
No,
Okay.
because one of the other rules is the main frame rails need to be square tube, so that keeps out your roadsters, your alters, your dragsters, things like that.
Okay.
That are all round tube chassis.
Yeah.
Kind of keeps it, I guess, more car wise.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, we have we have a couple fenderless cars, but they fit all the other roll parameters. So
All right. So if I was to build a, let's say we got a 31 coupe that we're going to build, and I put box tube frame, still everything else will be chromoly round tube, but the main frame would be square tube. That would
Correct.
be legal if I didn't run any fenders.
fenders,
Yeah. No
we've
fenders.
we got a couple guys that don't run fenders.
What about doors? Because we would have to enter this thing from the top.
Like, what do you mean? No doors?
Yeah, no, there'll be doors there. It's just they won't be operable. Or if they are operable, we're not getting in from them. I promise you that. We have a whole plan.
Let's revisit that.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sure it would be okay. But,
Yeah, we're searching. See, we had you on just because we wanted to try to flirt this idea out before we started spending any amount of money on it.
I see. I mean, I don't have them in front of me, but
we can make the doors operate. We can make them operate. That's not a problem. I just with the cage, I'm not going to be able to get in the car with the door.
so
I'm going to have to come in from the top.
I think it has as long as it has operational doors.
Okay. Yeah, see, what I'm afraid of is I'm starting this, and then they're going to make a rule this year.
Yeah.
You got to be able to get in your car from the door.
No, we're not a group that looks for a reason.
Yeah.
So people can't race.
So I mean, but your parity is your indexes. So it doesn't matter what I build as long as I'm within it. It's still going to look. It's a 31 coupe. It's going to be a 31 coupe.
So we run 8th mile.
Yep.
And we run on quarter-second indexes. So pick it and
go.
Run.
What's the fastest you can go?
As fast as you want.
Oh, so that's it, right? An 8th.
That's it.
So if I come in there with a high 3s, what's up?
Nothing. I
mean, you just got to run it consistent, huh?
Well, we do have buybacks first round, so you.
Oh, you do? You really?
But yeah.
Even at like the bigger ones, like the hot rod region and stuff.
No.
No, just on your points races.
Yeah, on our normal races.
Okay.
Yeah, like
how does that
the bigger
work?
Races we don't.
How does that work with your point system? Because it seems like that might be you got to pay to play type of situation.
Not really. It doesn't bother. I mean, you get 5 points for staging and 5 points for winning.
Even on your buyback.
If you win the round, yeah. So if you lost, you get 5 points first round, and instead of 10, which if you didn't buy back, you'd only got 5 points anyway.
Yeah, but
so
I'm buying
you're
5 more points though.
For round 2, when you stage up, you'll get 5 points then. If you win, you get the 10.
That's all right. I assume we're going to spend about $80,000 on this car.
Yeah.
So I think we can buy a few buybacks.
Well, it helps the tracks.
Yeah.
It gets a little revenue there.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you went out and just totally screwed up first round?
100 every one. We're like 3,000 runner up.
Yeah. So you're like, man, it'd be really nice to just have another shot to screw up.
Yeah. What is the buyback cost?
It depends on the track.
Okay,
$15 to $20.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Membership. How much does that cost?
There's no membership.
None.
Nope.
No. So I can just run a sticker. Just say I'm part.
Yep.
I noticed last year you had a title sponsor that was really exciting for you guys. I know there's a couple of them that came up, but one of the things was you were trying to get people to put their sticker on the car, which is, if you're part of an association, you should really try to support it by throwing that sticker up there for the sponsors and stuff.
Absolutely.
Is that something you're going to try to do again this year? Are you going to try to find?
We do it every year.
Do you?
So we got our title sponsor and then our other sponsors, and we make a sticker, and you have to run that sticker. Like with NDRL, you got to be a member to get points counted, right?
Yep.
So with us, you have to run the sticker to show support for our sponsor to get counted for points and be eligible for points money.
Yeah.
So
is there any talks about who the title's going to be this year, or are you still working on it?
We're still working on it.
Still working on it. Cool. Well, I'll tell you, if we get this thing done, Hopefully it's Fig Newtons because I'm gonna put it right across the windshield. I'm like, you know, yeah. It's inconvenient, but I sure do love Fig Newtons.
Yeah, and you got to come up with a cool name for the car.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I could come up with several. I just don't know how radio friendly they are.
Yeah, I don't worry much about that. Just
no, it's cool. All right. So, what's the point system like? I know you said 5 points. Is it 5 points a stage? Do you get points for showing up? Do you get
No.
Okay.
You get 10 points for showing up, but you have to stage first round to get those 10 points, and that's just to keep people from buying a tech card and their car's broke and just buying a tech card and getting points for not even putting in the effort. So
yeah. No, that makes sense. All right. So and then 5 points per round after that.
Yeah.
What about
5 points for staging, 10 points for winning?
Do you have any type of like low qualifier extra points, stuff like that?
No, we don't.
Nothing like that. Okay, so it's pretty much you have to win some rounds.
What we try to do is keep it to where we have fast cars, we have slow cars, where money's really not a factor. So any budget can be just as competitive as the next.
Right.
And we just try and keep it as fair as possible. And when you have low qualifier type stuff, then money comes a factor, and that person would typically always get that.
Well, but on like with NDRL, our low qualifier in ProGas is who is closest to their index, so it would be similar. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your rules or not.
No. You're 100% right, and even though most of us always know what our index is going to be,
it could vary.
It could vary, and we don't necessarily pick it. We actually do shoe polish and first round put it on.
Yeah.
So we do have a rule you can't change it. So
once you stage to first round.
What you stage with first round, that's your index for the which at a quarter second index.
And
would you need to
and that's
change,
that's what I was kind of getting at. On a quarter second index, at least with my truck, I could run a quarter second faster from start of the day to end of the day, just in weather. So
really?
Oh yeah, easy. But again, it's blown methanol and then all the weather factors that so it would be pretty easy for something like that to happen depending on the weather. So half second increments are a little bit harder for me. I wouldn't be able to do a full half second. I think a quarter second though is definitely plausible. The only reason I'm bringing it up is talking about the low qualifier. Obviously, if that's the case, it would be difficult for me to. How many practice runs do you normally get? 2, 3?
2 to 3. Depends on the track. I mean, we race at a lot of places.
Yeah. So
just depends on the track.
So for me, without any data, I could definitely see where a quarter second is possible. So that would make sense. Low qualifier is one of those things where it just doesn't make sense for, especially quarter second. Half second maybe, because that's something you're actually shooting for. But a lot of guys will probably, I don't know what you guys are running, but I bet a 6 1/4 versus a 6, it could happen from track to track. I don't know how.
It does vary, and what your car runs early April versus the middle of July is
100%
obviously going to be different.
100%.
So, everybody has some adjustability in their car.
Yeah, cool.
How we do things. I mean, everybody's car seems to be faster than the index they run.
Yeah,
which you would have to be, or you'd be a sitting duck.
Yeah, you got to play a little bit of finishing line games.
So, like in the 8th mile, my car, I usually run a 625 index, but my car runs mid 6.0s all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I can't run 6 flat.
Yeah.
So at 6.05, I'm a sitting duck. So
yeah.
I got to back it off 2/10 and
yeah,
run 625, and it's usually pretty dead on. And my wife's car's the exact same way.
Well, we're definitely gonna talk about your car and your strategy here in a few. Let's talk quickly about. Have you guys released a 2024 schedule for Sam yet?
We have.
Let's talk about some of the tracks you're going to this year.
Okay.
Anything new or exciting or?
The only new track we're going to this year is Muncie, Indiana.
Ooh, that's a drive for a lot of you guys.
3 hours maybe.
Muncie? Isn't that pretty far north, Indiana?
It's isn't it up towards Fort Wayne area, like to the east side?
Close.
Yeah.
I thought it was almost to Michigan. Muncie?
No.
It's about halfway up, a little over halfway.
Oh, really?
Up.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I think it's around like a hour north of Indy or something.
Okay,
It's not too bad.
That's fair. Is that the one that's at the airstrip?
I'm
Or is
not sure.
Okay, There, I know that
I'm not
there was
sure,
two
honestly.
drag strips around there. One of them's like an airstrip, and one of them's like a full on drag strip. But one of the two, they run no prep races up there quite a bit.
Don't think it's that one.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it's that one.
gotcha.
I
All
know
right.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. All right.
It's not
So
that one.
you guys are. I know your local home track is it Brownsboro,
US 60 in Hardensburg.
Hardensburg. All right.
Yeah.
So you that's kind of your central area, and you kind of go out from there.
Correct.
And then what tracks are you running? I don't know if you can name them all.
No,
or-
I mean it's fine. We're running at US 60, Ohio Valley, Bowling Green, Muncie, Kentucky Dragway. We're racing Indy. There's one more. I can't think of it right now, but
I know you're racing Indy with us. Is that with
Yes,
us
correct.
in
Mhm.
May? And then you're running
Yes.
Bowling Green with us twice. Is that right?
yes, the Hot Rod Reunion and the Fall Classic.
And the Fall Classic.
Yes.
And then we have I have some friends that are straight axle guys up north. I've been trying to convince them to come down here and run with y'all, but they live in like Michigan area, so it's a hell of a drive to go.
I see.
How many races a year do you do? It was like 17 or something, right?
This year we have 17.
17 races.
Last year we had 24.
Yeah. Wow. See, we
Yeah.
talked about this. We talked. I don't know if it was a fall class. I think it was a fall classic. You guys are outside your trailer when we're trying to get in, and we talked a little bit about your race schedule. And at least for me, that's a lot of racing, and I love it. I love it. It's just if I was going for a points championship, especially with my setup, I couldn't afford it.
So not all of our races are our points races.
Oh, okay.
So we had. Oh, we're going to Edgewater in Ohio.
We
too.
loved Edgewater. It was a cool track. We went there
twice,
2 years.
two times next year.
Yeah, it's
But
a really cool track.
so we did have certain tracks like US 60, Edgewater, and Kentucky Dragway. That was our points races. This year we're going to do something a little different, and we're going to make all of our races points races, and we're only going to keep your best, I think, 9.
Okay. See, yeah, we've
So-
talked about it. That's cool. I like that.
because we got some guys that live in Illinois, and Kentucky Dragway is like a 5-hour haul.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't make sense for them. And Hardensburg's like 2.5 hours. Well, we want to, again, to be as fair as we can and everybody to take a shot.
Yeah.
And we figure that's,
I think
the
it's a
best
cool.
way.
I think it's a cool move.
I mean,
Uh,
we make mistakes, but we're always adjusting, trying to accommodate
Yeah.
and just make it easier for everybody.
Let's
And-
Let's discuss real quick before we take a break. Let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages. This is your first year doing that. You keep your best 9 or something. This is your first year.
This coming year, yeah, we're going to do that.
So the discussion about that is: are you worried about turnout being lower at some tracks because they're further away?
Yes and no. It seems to be a double-edged sword because when we made certain racetracks points races, we would get a little more, but then we would lose some because they're like, well, I can't make them all, so
You lose
Why
all
bother?
out of the whole. You lose
Correct.
because they won't be going to any races because they can't afford to go to the furthest ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Or so, and part of us dropping some of the races we did was to lighten up the schedule load too.
Mhm.
Because I mean, you guys know it takes a lot to travel that many weekends a year. I think we stayed 100 days in our motorhome last summer.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know,
lot.
it
That's
just
a
takes a
lot,
lot.
buddy. Yeah, it's a lot.
So by dropping the amount of races we did, plus it allows people to go on vacation and things. I mean, I got a 5-year-old. I promised him we'd go to the beach, and
Yeah.
this is the year we're doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure there's any real recipe for success. We're trying to accommodate everybody the best we can, make everybody happy, and make it as competitive and as tight as we can.
So
And we feel this is the right direction.
I want to make sure that you guys keep real good track of that because it just in our area, if it's worth to do something like that to where we can add a couple races here and there and then do it like a points drop system so that, we can have more races yet, be able to make the ones that are closest to us or that make sense financially or with our family schedule, because you mentioned that it's a huge deal. We only run 6 races a year, which
Correct.
when we go out, it's for between both cars, we're probably between 3,000 and 5,000 for a week or weekend, I should say, between
with fuel,
diesel,
and
food, and race fuel.
I'd say it's
and-
probably closer to 2.5 to 3.
Well, I'm trying to factor in some spark plugs and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because
Hang on a second, guys.
Oh, it's beer time.
it's break time.
This
Well,
is
tell me
beer
what the
time
bell
for me.
means.
Well, it says right here.
Yeah.
Ring for beer.
Does it show up?
Wait,
Well, that sounds like a perfect time to take a little commercial
wait,
break.
I got to know something though. Did she bring you a sandwich too?
She will bring me a
do you have a separate bell for it?
no. Put the smile real quick
Hey,
right there with
hey,
my
we're-
eyes.
We're going to take a break. Maybe she wants to come in and say a word or two while you're on here.
That'd be cool.
When we
Yeah,
come
she's a
back.
driver. That'd
Yeah,
be
she's a
cool.
racer.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
She
she's
drives a
great.
sandwich maker, right? Is that her car?
She's been tough, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. That'd be cool.
56, the sandwich maker.
Let's do that. Let's take
But
a
yeah,
quick
I mean-
commercial break, and then we'll be back
Okay.
with you. I want to hear your strategies and about your car too, in the Sam. Plus, it sounds like we can probably get your wife involved and talk about a little bit her side of it too.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So let's
All
take
right.
a quick
Yeah.
break.
We'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
Is your trailer an organization disaster?
Do you have a hard time finding the tools that you need when you're at the track?
Well, let us tell you about some awesome organizational tools offered by Clear One.
Clear One Products is a leading manufacturer of lightweight, non-marring, scratch-resistant trailer storage components, a high-quality, low-cost alternative to metal components.
Whether it's your race car trailer, horse trailer, work trailer, or even your garage or shop, Clear One offers the products that you need. A full line of products is available to get you organized.
From fuel jug holders, oil and aerosol shelves, trailer door racks, tool and floor jack holders, to vinyl strip doors and jack pads, Clear One has it all.
Check out our friends over at Clear One Racing for all your trailer and race day organizational needs.
That's clearoneracing.com. Clear and the number 1 racing.com.
Thank you, Clear One, for sponsoring the Line Locked podcast. Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, man, here we go. I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about your greediness about parking
In the pits.
in the pits. So I think
enough.
it was last year. I believe it was
It was Bowling Green.
it was Bowling Green Fall Classic,
Yep.
and we parked a little bit adjacent and into your parking area. And I don't want to say you got upset, but you told some people about it, and we got told about it. And it wasn't. So what happened on our end? Let's tell you on our end what happened. So at the time, Chris was not running fast enough to run Pro Gas, so he was not part of the Pro Gas. He was part of Hot Rod. And me and all my guys that I run with, they're all Pro Gas. Well, we tried parking where the Pro Gas would go, and then they're like, "Well, is he Pro Gas?" And we're like, "No, he's Hot Rod. So can't park here." So we're like, all right, well, we'll park on the edge over here. And the edge was where we parked. And we looked at the map and we thought that was okay. And it turned out to be encroaching on your property. I didn't see no trespassing signs, but
We have the deed.
so we went to the Fall Classic this year and we're like, man, we need to try to get that same spot again.
Didn't happen, though.
It didn't happen. Well, we said it for funsies, but our lead guy, he got a little nervous about it because he didn't. Well, I guess he didn't want to get his ass whooped. I don't know. So we ended up parking further down the road, which is no big deal to us. We don't care. We would like
Yeah.
to. Bowling Green is not a bad track to park wherever you got to
No.
park.
So, they have us right there.
Yeah,
Like,
right along the track.
yeah,
Yeah.
along the track behind the fence. And we got to be real careful because some of us have bigger rigs and some of us don't. And it's like, even if you guys weren't there, I mean, we still struggle to get everybody in there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, I mean, we genuinely need every bit.
And
And then people's come in. And I think we have like 40, 45 cars we're stuffing, I mean, right on top of each other. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, we really need all we can get.
Yeah.
And arguably, the place that you park, although it is really nice parking, arguably it's not that great because you have to go along the fence
No.
line and turn around. So
Yeah.
it's
And-
difficult.
I mean, you got to go down with your car, turn around, come back. It's difficult. And if you got a motorhome or something, you're not turning around. You're backing out of there
Hmm.
from behind the bleachers.
And we took
But-
your prime real estate because it's at the very beginning of the staging
Well,
lanes.
I mean, you know, I'm sure you guys aren't bragging, but you got bigger rigs. So you parked in like you parked in like the truck stop section.
Hey, don't ask my wife about that. She'll tell you different.
I promise, baby, it's 40 foot.
And look at the registration. It says it right here.
Yeah. So it's like, what do we do here?
Yeah. We apologize. Again, we were just trying to fit within the rules.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
just
it was no big deal. Look, at the strip, at the drag strip, nobody really gets upset about much of anything, even something like that. We just foolishly wanted to bring it up and just make light of it. It just happens sometimes.
Yeah,
You're on top of each other.
And it's just, what do you do?
Yeah, nothing you can do.
And it feels like we're trying to herd goldfish all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody together.
Yeah, herding cats.
And yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
So,
well,
I'm just glad it wasn't summertime and y'all throw water balloons at us.
Maybe we should get a turret system for the top of the trailer.
We could get something like that
going.
Yeah,
what do they call that? Trebuchet?
Anyway. Yeah, trebuchet. Chris is going medieval. All right, man. Let's talk a little bit about your car, because it is probably. I don't want to make anybody feel bad about it or nothing, but your car is probably one of the coolest ones. There's a lot of cool cars with straight axle. I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but you get a lot of press. There's a lot of looks, and it is a really nicely done car.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that car. Like, how'd you get it and all that stuff?
Well, a guy named Bob built it up in Pennsylvania, and it was just red. And we were looking for a gasser, and it come up for sale. And we went up and picked it up, brought it home, and just gave it a big makeover. I mean, wheels, tires, the whole deal, front to back, and kind of made it what it looks like now. And it's been a great car.
How'd you come up with the name?
So I had a 27 T sedan street rod that was candy yellow and all cool, and a buddy of mine that painted it in a 27, the gas tank's in the cowl of the car. So I had the little flat door on the cowl.
Yep.
Well, as a joke, he wrote gas hole, and he made a gas filler hose, and the end of it was it had some hair on it. You can figure it out.
Yeah, I understand.
So we sold the car, and we were looking for a name for this car, and I'm like, I just want something cool, something stand out. She's like, let's call it gas hole too. And I'm like, you sure? And I got thinking about it. It's like, well, it makes sense. So on my logo, because we have an interior shop, it's actually a sewing machine behind it with flames, and the needles of the sewing machine is like the number 2.
Yeah.
So it's just gas hole 2, and it just sort of stuck, and it's been fun. And
yeah,
where did you
how it come about?
Where did you get that painted at? Because the paint job on it is just amazing.
A friend of mine at Digital EFX, he come up with the graphics on it. And, just kind of made it what it is now.
Very old school. I mean, it fits the genre very well.
That's what we wanted. Just something to. Everything was kind of obnoxious, standoutish. He did some computer renderings because we was trying to figure out what color goes with red. Typically, I don't like the color red, but the car was red, and I'm only going to spend so much money on a car I just got.
I understand.
That wasn't in the budget, so we tried blues, this and that, and then he's like, "What about purple?" And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he sent it over, and I was like, "Oh, all right, let's just do it."
Yeah, no, it is a sick car. It's a beautiful car, done very traditional, like Chris was saying. It looks like it just came right out of the 60s, 70s.
That's just what we wanted.
It's so cool.
I don't know if you've looked inside of it, but we used all metal flake vinyl, kind of just give it that obnoxious.
Yeah, I haven't looked.
I guess.
I haven't looked inside it, but what I'm planning on is trying to convince you to let me drive it whenever you go on your vacation and there's a race or something. I don't know if that's possible. I'll get you some. I'll get you some points.
There you go.
I just have to put a mohawk on. No different.
Yeah, you'll never know.
I bet he doesn't even let his wife touch it.
No. She's going to drive it this year.
Oh, is she
Oh, really? What are you doing?
Yeah. No, she
Both?
just wants to make some passes.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I'll tell you, I don't. What does her car run? Actually, does she want to come on and tell us about her car real quick? Is she around?
Do you want to come tell them about your car? What? Quit flipping me off. Put your shirt on. Hold on, here she is.
Yeah, cool.
Other side.
Hey there.
Hey, that's an awesome T-shirt you got. Good Lord, that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like I need to drop some acid or something.
Oh yeah. Keep it fun.
Yeah, tell us about your car.
56 Chevy.
Okay.
My little patina princess.
Patina princess.
Yeah. I've never actually raced before this, and when he wanted to race, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to race too, and he was like, okay, and he didn't believe me. So basically, when we were building it, we just thought it would be easier for everything to be just like his.
Yeah,
so
the same.
We've got the same parts. You know, he can drive mine, I can drive his.
Mm-hmm.
So
cool.
Everything is just.
What index do you normally run at?
Right now I run 625.
Okay, same as him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. So the only real switch up is it's just a different car is all it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's the sandwich maker, right?
Yes, the sandwich maker.
My girlfriend saw that when she came up to one of the tracks and saw that. I was like, yeah, that's a girl driving that car. That's good. Yeah, we like that. Yeah, that's one of our favorite cars.
I've got a lot of female fans.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We need to make sure you have some T-shirts and stuff because I bet you could sell some.
do.
Do you? Ooh, little merch drop. All right. So you have them out there for sale, huh? That's cool.
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm.
There's how many other female Sam drivers are there? Do you know?
Only one other.
One other. Do you guys get in cat fights or anything?
No, not at all. No. We are so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got to support each other for sure, because there's just not very many, and it's unfortunate. But
and and being in all kinds of different walks of life, raising people are the biggest family, and not because you have to be. Just everybody is so great.
Yeah.
And we all support each other. We're cheering each other on. One person loses, and we turn around, and we're like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah. So we always feel bad about beating each other.
Yeah. So you say this is your first year racing, or have you been racing for a little bit?
It's my first year.
Oh, so how did you end up doing towards the end of the year? I mean, would you end up placing in points and all that?
6th.
Oh,
6th.
That's pretty damn good.
Wow. So that means you were winning some rounds.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna be top 5 next year.
All right.
That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your husband? Is it boyfriend? Husband.
Husband.
What'd your husband? Where'd he go? He's second, right? Something like that.
Second. Mm-hmm.
Second. Behind Joe Bridges, I believe, wasn't it?
Right behind Joe Bridges.
Yeah.
I bet he's cringing right now in his face.
He's not happy.
I keep up on the Straight Acts Mafia drama off your all's page. I love it.
Oh, awesome.
I love it.
We love it. We love stirring the pot.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. And I tell you, part of the reason that I started racing was because of you guys and seeing how much fun you had. And I just happened to fall into the NDRL because that's kind of the people I knew at the time. But the amount of family and fun times that you guys have that I found and saw, it's like, man, I want to be part of this. It's a good time.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what to do with ourselves when we're not at the track, when we're not with these people. We found ourselves, 1-2 nights a week. Hey, what are you guys doing? You want to go to dinner? Just we got to be around each other.
Yeah. I bet winters are tough. For sure.
Yeah.
When is your guys' first race this year?
April. What's our first? April 13th.
13th. So you got another 4 months.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
It'll be here quick.
Oof.
I hope so.
You guys do anything major on your cars for the next season?
No, we're just doing normal maintenance. I think we're changing maybe lifters on my car, changing transmission on his car. Nothing major.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well, I need you to send us some pictures of your car, maybe you with your car.
For sure.
So I can put them behind us right here whenever we are actually on the thumbnail or something. We'll make a big deal of it.
Yep,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Thank you.
And then do you have any sponsorships that you want to talk about?
No, I do run QA1 parts. So we kind of just send our love to them. Hey, this is how we're doing, and they love to see everything. Oh, they do sponsor us. I'm sorry. Hey guys,
Send you our love.
no,
cool.
they're really good to us, and I mean we love their parts.
Yeah, I ran QA1 for quite a while in the rear of my truck, the coilovers. They're good stuff. They make drive shafts and make all kinds of stuff.
Yes, Shane actually has one of the carbon fiber drive shafts in his.
Yeah, right on. Cool. All right. Anybody you want to thank before we get back to your husband?
Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
Well, the brothers say you're welcome.
Just thank all of our friends, family, sponsors, everything.
All right, cool. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Love that sweatshirt, by the way. I can't get enough of it. He's got a whole tree back here. Look at that.
Yeah, no, I see that.
Is that tree operational? Behind you? No shit?
Yeah.
That's cool as hell. We just bought one of those porta trees.
That's what we got hooked to that.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool.
You asked about our strategy. That's some of it.
Yeah. So we started this year. We bought one at PRI. Or I bought one at PRI when I was there, and we were planning on practicing this year because lights are hard. They're tough.
That's the hardest part.
Yep.
And if you're good there, the rest of the race will come to you.
Yeah, for sure. Finish line driving is an art, and let's talk about a little bit about your strategy. Obviously, you just said that the starting line game is a big game to you.
Huge.
So what kind of reactions can we expect from you in the gas hole? Like what kind of averages?
My goal is 30 or better.
That's very realistic.
That'll win 85% of the races.
Very realistic.
I do feel like having one of the faster cars in our group, it gives a slight advantage if I'm off on the tree that
you're coming
the
behind
race
them.
the race is in front of me.
Yeah.
So I have made some goofy mistakes finish line driving this past summer, but I think everybody does. I mean, that's an art that you really don't get to practice until you're in eliminations.
For sure. So let me ask you this. Let's just talk about you're up against a 650. So you're 6 1/4 up at 650. So you're getting a dirty light. Are those lights 30 or better as well, or are those all over the place?
We try. Those are the toughest ones for me.
Yeah, quarter second or half second are tough.
They're that close, and they're tough. And I really got to just focus on my bottom bulb. I mean, they're tough. So far, I've been okay, but let's say not this past year, but the year before that, I was 70. I mean, they really mess with me.
Yeah.
So as you'll find with your practice tree, you can set up.
We've been doing
how you want to do things. Yeah. So the year before that, I really struggled with a slower car. Like if I run an 8-mile car, just sitting there waiting that long, I would find myself like wondering, like they would leave and then I would look at their tree. Did they red light? And then
and you
when's mine coming down? Right. So you set up your practice tree for those variables and you just, 30, 40, 50 times a night, you hit the practice tree until it just, we'll call it muscle memory. It just isn't a factor anymore.
One cool thing about porta tree too, they actually, at least I don't know if the system you have is the same as ours, but it's able to.
It is.
Ours is able to give you a bunch of distractions. Hey, we said that together. Yeah. We need to do that on line locked at the end.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they got distracted, like your bulb will blink.
Or the screen will go crazy or something.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. So one cool thing about it, at least for me, is my daughter wants nothing to do with drag racing, but she loves playing with that porta tree because she wants to be dear old dad on the numbers. And I set myself up a half second slow, or fast, I should say. Yeah, so she's going first. It is so hard. I can get a very consistent 10 to 20 light on a clean tree, but as soon as you put that half second delay, I'm done. I'm a 40 to 100, and I cannot. I've been struggling to figure out.
You guys run on a Pro Tree, right?
Pro Tree, yep.
I got you. Okay.
So I don't know how much different that is for your strategy, but it's tough for us.
Same. I mean, you're focusing at 3 bulbs. I'm focusing at the bottom. I mean, you can't let the rhythm get you, or you count down. I mean,
you can't predict it. Yeah.
No, you just got to focus on what you got to do. And And I've had to adjust my car a lot. I changed tire size. I changed the RPM. I try and leave that. I try and change a lot to basically find a spot on the tree and adjust the car to it.
So do you between rounds, like depending on who you're racing as far as how fast they are, or faster than you or whatever, do you change what you launch at or anything like that, or you always the same?
No.
Okay.
I try to change nothing about the car.
So it's always exactly the same, and you're staring at your bulbs only.
Yeah, because we don't have a ladder typically. We don't know who we're going to run. They draw cards at the staging lane. So it could be the guy behind me, the guy beside me.
Okay.
Or the guy 3 cars back.
Okay.
So you don't know who you're running.
Yeah. That's wild. Let's talk a little bit about your finish line tactic. At a 6 1/4 car, I would say you're probably on the top half of the pack.
There's really, I think, only one car faster than what Justin and I run.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're definitely the top quarter, 10th, whatever, a bunch. You're the top of the pack. So you're always going to, the race is always folding out in front of you. Is there a strategy for you about how you play that game at the finish line? Or would you like to indulge on it or not? You don't have to, but
yeah, I don't care. So what I used to do was kind of the triangle method. So you're like looking at the finish line, looking at the front end of the other car, and then looking forward, and you're trying to
go back,
fill that gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's tough to do. So what I found is when both cars pre-stage, if you look over and pick a spot on that car, and then that's your spot. So you'll never be more side by side than when you're both pre-stage.
Mm-hmm.
And you just look at that going down the track, close that gap. And, obviously, an 8-second car, you're hitting the brakes before you even catch the car.
Mm-hmm.
But you watch that spot.
Yeah.
And
so when you line up,
seems to be helpful.
When you're saying is when you line up, you look at his car and then pinpoint something on your car that translates to
his car, not my car.
Well, what I'm saying
I'm looking at his cars. Yeah.
So you don't line anything up with, like, say your vent mirror. You look over and see if that lines up to his rear view mirror or whatever to say that's the point that we were supposed to be together at. You're just looking at his door in relation to where you're sitting or something.
Right, 90 degrees.
90 degrees. Okay.
Yep. Pick a sticker, pick a door handle, pick a mirror, pick something.
And that's what you're looking at.
And that's what you're going to find when you get down there. And
okay. That's great advice. I never heard that. I've heard picking out a point and then relation to your own vehicle, like I said, like the vent mirror or something.
Which when, believe it or not, when I raced a dragster, it was easier to do. But with these gassers, I don't know what it is. The front end's up there. It's harder to do to know exactly where your front end's at. So the 90-degree deal works better, and it just seems to work better.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. What other stuff? Is there any like insider secrets about like how the gas hold made number 2?
Well, no.
And not number 1?
Should we call Joe and figure out what he did to get number 1 or?
No, do not ask him. Gosh, I have to hear about it every week. Every time I see him, he reminds me.
I was telling your wife I keep up on that drama. I watch that Sam website or the Facebook. I love it, man. It's such a good time to watch.
Time with it. Nobody gets upset. We just have fun ribbing each other, and it makes it fun.
Yeah.
We put bounties on each other for $100.
Really?
Here and there, just to, oh yeah.
That's actually a good idea, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
We could start putting bounties on. That's a great idea.
One of my buddies, Ryan Walker, he raced with you guys some. He put a $500 bounty on me on the last race.
Oh, Lord, what'd you do to him?
Nothing. He said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It'll work out for you." And I was like, "Thanks, bud."
Yeah.
But it didn't work out.
So the bounty is only to the driver that beat you. You don't have to pay the bounty if you win.
Up until the quarterfinals, then it goes to the pot at the end.
Okay. So
I run
the
it up the race. Yeah, I run it up to the race and we split. So I end up getting some of the money anyway. So.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah,
that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
just a little something extra for the winner too. Yeah.
Yeah, But the weekend before, he did it for $200, I think, at the Fall Classic, and I went out first round.
Somebody got paid.
Yeah, somebody got paid, and
I think it's a great idea. It adds a lot of fun, a little more excitement. Plus, as a driver,
a little more pressure.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
The last race, Joe was first in points. I was 10 points behind him, and the guy in third was 10 points behind me. And we actually finished the year that way. I mean, Joe won, I runnered up, and the guy in third, I beat him in the semis. So that was probably one of the more stressful races I've had.
Tight racing.
I mean, yeah, because after every round, we're over there talking shit to each other's ear, trying to make each other screw up.
Did you put any bounties out?
Nope.
Nope. Maybe you need to next year. Maybe you got to get in Joe's head a little bit.
I'm gonna get his luck has run out.
Let's talk a little bit about Joe, though.
So if you're watching Joe Bridges, your luck has run out. There will be no 3 years in a row.
Let's give him a little bit of love. What do you think was his advantage? Why did he win?
Well,
I'm listening.
The real answer is, I mean, he was just consistent. I mean, he was there. He was consistent.
What's the better answer?
And the answer I would tell him to his face is, other than him just being lucky, you know, he's just got it easy. I mean, he drives a car for somebody else.
Oh.
You know, his wife lays out his clothes for him in the morning. He really don't even have to think at the racetrack until he gets in a race car.
And he just shows up and
I'm
wins.
over here. Yeah, I mean, I got 2 race cars and a 5-year-old. Well, that's not fair. His wife's great. She keeps our kid a lot. So
yeah.
But that's all I'm gonna tell him. But I'll tell that to him.
Yeah, I hear you. Now he's fun to watch. You both are fun to watch, and the rivalry is great. The memes you guys put out.
Yeah, no, everybody's great guys, and Joe's done good getting this group to where it is today, and you know, we're all pretty tight.
Cool. This time we're going to give you as much time as you need to thank any sponsors or family or helpers or whatever you got. Just whoever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, you know, other than my wife, she's supportive. I mean, we was at PRI and I texted her. She was up in the hotel resting. And I said, hey, come down to where the trailers are and bring your license. I need you help co-sign on this credit app. And she said, oh, shit, you're an idiot. I'll be there in a minute. And just messing with her. So that's the kind of support I get for racing. And
yeah, we did see you at PRI. We just we couldn't catch you in time.
Oh, yeah.
We did run across you. I was yelling. You just didn't hear me.
Well, I'm sorry. But no, I mean, if your wife's not supporting you, this sport's hard.
I agree.
Very.
And that makes it easy, you know, and you know, all our Mafia group, they're great. You know, we help each other, support each other, give each other a hard time. But, you know, if something happens, everybody's there for you. That's good. QA1, you know, they give us good parts to use. They're great. Pin grade, you know, they give us oil. And we like that. And that's our big ones. And even Ryan Walker, even though he's a dick and puts bounties on me, he throws us a bone here and there and helps us with stuff. So, that's about it for us. My dad, he's great. He races with us too. He's got the wagon, you know, so he's always there to help do whatever we need. We pull it all together.
So if someone has a straight axle car, they want to race and come check you guys out, how can they get a hold of you guys?
Well, we got a website you can check out, straightaxlemafia.net, or our Facebook page, Straight Axle Mafia, and you can get in touch with Joe or myself, and we'll point you in the right direction, help you get your car where it needs to be, and get you on the track with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. You got what you guys are doing over there, keeping that style of racing alive is crazy. I mean, it takes a lot of work, and we can appreciate it. Mm-hmm. We love having you.
We're like a band of gypsies, I think. I mean, we race on Saturdays, and 80% of us shows up on Fridays, and we don't leave till Sunday, and we
Mhm.
just cook pizzas and party all weekend and race. And
No,
I mean,
there is nothing
it's
but 100% good time when you're hanging out with you guys. 100%.
yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of racing. I mean, I've raced my whole life, and this group it's something. It's
Yeah.
cool.
For sure. Well, we really appreciate you coming on and talking with us.
Hey, thank you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And we hope to maybe spread the word a little bit about Straight Axle Mafia.
Yeah, please.
You know, and then a little bit about your sponsors. I've ran some QA1. I think you got.
I've got them on my back of mine too.
And then
Yep.
Pin Grade Oil, we run that as well.
Mhm.
So anybody looking for any oil or suspension, at least the Blood Brothers give the check off for that stuff.
Yep.
Because we
Yep.
use it as well.
Yep.
Fantastic. Thanks. All right, Shane. Again, we appreciate it. Thank you
Hey,
for coming
thanks,
on.
guys, and get that gasser done. And
Yeah, it's
you
gonna
park with us next year.
It's gonna be
Park with it. True that. He said we can park with him next year.
Well, I tell you what, if you've seen the mud on the back of my wall here, it's going to be closer to that mud of a dog for straight axle than anything. It's going to be more out there just to cause a problem. But we only race 6 races a year, and if we could get a couple of them around here and race a little car that's straight axle, that'd be cool as hell.
Yeah.
So
We're right down the road from
Yeah,
Ohio Valley too. We can come down and see you.
for
yeah,
sure.
we race some there. So I would hate to think if we just race 6 times a year, we go crazy.
Yeah.
I agree. It's just I don't want to get too much of on a tangent. It's so expensive to run what we run. It's just insane. I would I would have a lot more fun, honestly. Well, I don't even want to say that because I think I have a lot of fun with the NDRL. That's not fair, but I would have a lot of fun running 17 races with you guys, and I'd have a lot of fun with NDRL. But it's just if local. It's a little less expensive to run that style racing, but the NDRL, they're just as much of a family and fun times. Yep. It's just different, you know. And 6.
Well, you never know what may happen in the future.
Yeah, for sure. For us anyway, 6 is great. We can work with 6, and like we were talking about, as far as money's concerned, it's still a lot of money, you know. Even if we may be able to make it marginal or different with running more local stuff, but it's still at the end of the day, it's all, the best quote I've ever heard was, it doesn't matter how much money you're going to make, you're going to spend all of it.
Yep.
Because that's what we do. That's all we do, baby.
And we have talked about building a 750 car or even a Pro Comp car.
Yeah.
And, you know, because we already run half of your season with you.
Yeah.
So, 3 more races?
Yeah, we've talked about that too. I would love to see the NDRL. You know, I don't want to see that because what you guys got going is what you got going, and that's perfect. But it would be nice to have, to encompass it together, which we already do. And I think it's great that you guys are showing up and then coming out to these 3 of the 6 of the races we go to. And at the end of the day, for the fan, you guys have some great racing. You know, it's always really nice cars coming out, or classic, traditional gasser style cars running tight indexes. It's just a lot of fun to watch, and we appreciate you showing up.
Yep.
Thanks. We enjoy it. We enjoy being there with you guys. So. At the next one, come by. Drink a beer.
We'll be right there in your parking spot. No big deal.
We'll get there before you.
You do it all the time.
All right, it's good seeing you, my man.
All right, Shane.
All right, man.
Yeah, we'll try to have you on later on sometime. We'll maybe closer to season.
Yep, perfect.
All right, guys. Take care, man.
All right, take care.
Whew.
All right.
That was fun.
Shane Lile from Straight Axle Mafia. Those cars are pretty badass. I mean, to see them rolling up with that front end way up in the air and everything, I always just like get goosebumps every time I see them. I mean,
so
this is awesome.
The reason that I went a different route, I'm not, Shane's over here. He may still be listening, but I thought you either had to go fast and be safe, you know, and the Straight Axle Mafia, those cars they're hard to handle.
Oh, I'm sure they probably are.
In quarter mile anyway. Once you start going 160, 170, those become airplanes.
Yeah.
We've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to throw a picture up here on some stuff that came up recently on some drag radial stuff where they smash the tire and they go down the track with their front end up 2 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And they become airplanes.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Now, I tell you, one thing that I didn't mention to him that I thought was cool and thinking about is there was a car. You remember Blue Bayou?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah, blue. It was a '55 Chevy, wasn't it?
50. Yeah, I believe it's 55.
55, yeah.
Blue Bayou. He raced in, I believe they called it Geezer Gassers. It's 8th Mile Racing.
Yeah.
But he was probably low.
That was a fast car.
It was probably mid fives.
Yeah.
In the 8th, it was a really fast car.
Yeah.
You know, so if depending on your racing, that's what you're doing. I mean, still mid fives is probably 130, maybe 140.
Yeah. In the 8th mile, that's pretty freaking fast.
That was a blown methanol car.
Yeah, and I remember seeing videos, and there's actually a lot of them on YouTube of him putting his wife in the car and racing and stuff. That's pretty cool.
The original builder actually sold that car to a Straight Axle Mafia guy. Now, I don't know the name, and please comment down below who it is, because I know it came up on your all Straight Axle Mafia Facebook page. But somebody from them bought that car. I don't know if they still have it or not. But it's I'm sure it's a handful, and it's probably pretty difficult to
They
be
do have a Blue Bayou in the Straight Axle Mafia, but it's a wagon, I thought. So
something different?
It's like a baby blue wagon.
Yeah. Well, the real Blue Bayou from, it was Northern Ohio where he came from.
Yeah.
It was sold and purchased by somebody in the Straight Axle Mafia.
Okay.
I saw pictures of it.
All right.
So somebody below me, tell me on the comments or email us at Line Locked Podcast.
Did you say somebody below you?
Well, I said below me, as in comments.
Comment below.
Comment below. That's what I meant. Shane, you got me drinking beer. My bad. My bad. Is somebody down there to comment?
Jeez.
All right. Well, we got to wrap this thing up. We got a viewer mail. We got anything?
Yeah, well, I got one.
Okay.
This is from Shane about our last thing, and it's going back to the NHRA announcement.
Again.
I know again.
I thought we were over this.
Yes. No. It's a big to do.
Okay.
But hey, he says, I agree with Corey and think it's a big problem with NHRA that they don't think the racer is more important. Without the racer, they have no show. NHRA is a money machine anymore, and it's not good. I don't know how they can not know why their viewership is down. So I got to thinking about it. You know, as racers, we're putting in, especially those guys, not so much us, but the big guys, hundreds of thousands of dollars, putting their lives on the line, affording a team a very dangerous scenario, and yet the NHRA is pushing that the fans are the most important part of all this. And I agree that fans are
they're
important.
the one that's paying for it.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
But the racer is the backbone of this. And
It would be like telling Taylor Swift, she's not all that important.
Yes, exactly.
You know, I mean, she's bringing the fans.
She's the one bringing the fans.
It's a chicken and egg situation.
Yes.
You know, I don't
agree.
know. And Shane or whatever, Fast 80, 567.
Shane, yeah, there we go.
We're gonna hug it out when I see you next time, because I think we're both. I think honestly, from the comments, we are in the bigger half of what is really the comments about this, or what the feeling is. You know, and I'm not saying there isn't people that disagree. I'm just saying I think we're on the side of what most people think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Well, let's just go ahead and end this thing.
Well, hang on. I got one.
We got one more?
Yeah, I'm going to put it up on the thing over here. We got another viewer mail about Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
we
yes,
look
I
at this
remember
one.
that.
Look at this one. I'm not going to say any names, but you know the name. And we appreciate you watching, and we thank you. And that's really cool. You put it on the tree and then send us a picture of that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's a race car tree.
It's pretty cool, right? All right, so next time. Oh, not that one.
Somebody's calling?
No, this one. There we
Hey,
go.
Drink another beer, man.
Shane, why did you do this to me?
Oh, gosh. I don't think that we even were trying.
Have you been drinking?
We're line locked. See you guys. Have a good night.